Marcus, I love you.
A precious memory.
And I'm going to play it for him later. I love you, my boy.
And one of the last times Marcus Harvin would hear his grandmother's voice.
I lost my grandmother in 2021. I went to prison in 2016. However, in between those times, I had bonds that were set so high that I could not meet them. It was like a few months in between me getting sentenced and the conviction coming in, so I could have had that time home.
Time to make more memories with his grandmother. But the New Haven man is one of many people who was kept in jail before his trial for a DUI crash without fatality because he couldn't afford to post bond.
I was unsentenced for like 4 months, I believe it was, while sitting in jail because my family couldn't afford that bond.
According to a report by the U.S. Commission on Civil Rights, more than 60% of defendants are jailed pretrial because they couldn't afford bond. This is a conversation that's been talked about amongst state leaders and advocates in Connecticut for many years now. Alex Tarkov is the executive director of the Connecticut Sentencing Commission. They've produced several reports on pretrial justice and bail reform. Their findings?
The pretrial justice system in Connecticut is to an extent resource-based.
Criminal justice leaders like Mike Lawler was one of the leading people in the effort to end cash bail in Connecticut in 2017.
There's a lot of people for whom the amount of bail is relatively low, that you or I or most people watching could easily post with a credit card, or if they have a job or they have some relative who can hire a bail bondsman to get them out. But there are people who don't have any access to resources like that at all.
He says many end up pleading guilty just so they can go home.
Typically, they'll be sitting in jail for a few months, maybe 6 months, and the way they get out is by going to court and pleading guilty.
But how to change that system for the better is where policy,
and I think we should copy what New Jersey did,
meets politics.
So if it's being misused or people are being prevented from being let out of prison and they're stuck, I think we could have that conversation. But I think there's certain crimes and certain activity that process needs to be there to protect our citizens.
In 2014, New Jersey voted to amend a state constitutional amendment. This largely ended cash bail and transitioned the state to a risk-based pretrial system in 2017.
What we've seen is dramatic decreases in the jail population, the pretrial jail population. And that has not come at the price of people showing up in court. People are actually showing up in court at higher rates now than they ever have. And it also has not come at the expense of public safety.
Violent crimes involving repeat offenders are prompting questions about bail reform. Just this month, Governor Lamont, alongside a group of Connecticut mayors and gun violence advocates, introduced a new series of proposals that they say will reduce violent crime in the state.
If this was in place, my last son would not have been killed. He would still be here with us today.
The 10 proposals include actions like establishing a definition for a serious firearm offense, requiring those with a history of past offenses to post a higher bond percentage, and strengthening consequences for criminal possession of a firearm.
Many law enforcement professionals are very concerned about the fact that repeat dangerous violent offenders are able to post bond continually and get out even though they're being arrested on really serious charges. And I think that's a real problem. But it has a real solution, to give judges and prosecutors the authority to hold people without bail.
To make this happen, Connecticut State's Constitution must be amended, and everyone must be aboard.
A lot of the most significant reforms in criminal justice have happened because Democrat and Republican leaders came together and came up with language that satisfied both perspectives.
But as of right now, there is no end in sight for cash bail here in Connecticut. D'Andrea Turner, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.